Morning guys, today I'm doing another repair. This is Eric again. For the guys that don't know me, I'm a roofer. Today I'm going to show you how I find a leak on a flat roof. The commercial roof is the most difficult leaks to find because the water, it's most of the roof, they're completely flat, so they don't have that much slope, and sometimes it's leaking in some places. Like I went inside the building, and what I did, I measured from the wall, with the tape measure. I measured from this wall, and I count the windows on the inside. I count 1, 2, 3 on the front window. I went inside, and then I count 25 feet. Okay, so there's an office that belongs to one of the guys that work there from the FAA. It's Federal Authority, Fire Authority, something like that. And the leak is right here. So I told my helper today, okay, let's clean up right here the area, and then let's patch the holes, created by the nails, underneath the plywood. So this roof is so old, so it needs to be replaced. And there's so many nail holes that are coming through the roof, because the plywood's already, the nails are rusted and they're popping up. So, and I thought it was a leak. But then before you do anything, before you start coating and then you send a bill to the customer, make sure that the area that you're gonna fix is the area that's leaking. And how do you know how to check it? So what I do, this is what I do. I don't care what you do or what other company do, but this is what I do. I usually cut like a little triangle and then check the plywood. If you see like signs of water on the plywood, that means the water is coming from, it's leaking in here. But this plywood is all dried out. So, and then I check about 3 feet of here. It's all dried out too. So that means even though the leak is here, the water is not here. So what I'm telling my guy right now is to open on that side, and then we're gonna check if the water is coming from around the area, around this area, and then just going inside the membrane, and then just traveling, leaking inside there, because you got like several leaks on that area. And so that's what I'm gonna do now. And today I'm gonna show you how to do it. This is one of the most difficult water leaks that I'm going to do, because you have to figure out, it's not just you're gonna go and put a tarp on that and then it's not gonna work. So you have to find it. So I have to know where the water is coming from in order for me to stop the water from getting inside the building. Okay, I'll show you how. So you make sure the water is not going through here. So you're gonna patch the hole again with make sure that you invest in a good trowel. See, like this one is made out of it has like a metal frame right here. You have like a little metal thing, and it's well done. And then the thing right here, it's made out of wood, so it's really strong and it doesn't come apart. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you the brand, but make sure that your trowel has this kind of not made out of plastic, because plastic usually comes apart from the metal when you're using it. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab some of the roof cement. You're gonna fill out the hole that you can't, fill it up, and then put the little pieces in there like this, and then push down. Make sure that you push down. And once I put the little piece on top, I apply more and apply the little thing. That's it. You can leave it like that and it's never gonna leak. So what you're doing, you're covering the mastic underneath from the sun, so it's never gonna leak. But since I want to warranty my work, I'm gonna use a piece of webbing. I keep on calling it webbing. Somebody says the real name is mesh, so hopefully, okay, I'm gonna use some mesh. So here's my mesh It's called webbing. If you go to a roofing supply and you call, hey, I want some mesh, they're gonna go, what are you talking about? So make sure when you go buy it, if you go to a material supply, call it webbing, okay, webbing. You can call it mesh, they might be able to understand, but just to be safe, call it webbing. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the other part. I need you to get to know the difference between this black thing that you see right here. This is asphalt from the old roof, and we just did a cut about, let me see, about 10 feet over there, and this is what we found. Right here, the plywood, it's all fucking wet. You see? It's all wet. So the water, it's coming from this area. Since this air conditioning has a big puddle of water, right now it's not leaking, but it's coming from the upper area. Right here, they put the walking mat right here. So it's coming underneath the walking mat, and somehow it's entering on this area. So I'm gonna have to patch all the way to the end, and then patch on both sides, and then patch this area, and to make sure that I'm gonna stop the leak. But first I have to dry this out, and it's a big repair, so it's not easy. See, the water is coming from here, so I know that people try to seal there, and you know, they can't figure it out. So today I measure, and when I measure, it says the leak is around here. So the most common, you know, from any roofer will say, okay, if it's leaking here, then I'll patch around here. They see some crack things, but sometimes the fucking leak is coming from like 30 feet, 20 feet away. So watch out for commercial leaks, okay? So this is how you trace a water leak on a commercial building, okay? Like I told you before, these folks, they want results because they want to fix. So they told me, Eric, please, you have to stop this water leak because they have a union, and I think once they involve the union, and I think that they're gonna force them not to pay rent until they put a new roof on it, so they can't risk the they can't risk that to happen. So it's gonna rain in 2 days, and after, so only got today and tomorrow to dry it out. So after this, these guys are gonna, if it keeps leaking again, they have to put a new roof. Hopefully I can stop all the water leaks and then just extend the life of the roof for another year on this area at least. You know, sometimes people, they just want to extend the roof of the life of the roof. You know, I wish I could put a new roof on this area, but they're not gonna pay me for that. So that's what I'm saying. So okay, so that's why you trace the water leaks. Okay, guys, thank you for watching, and hopefully this video helps you a lot. You know, if you have a water leak in your house, if you have a flat roof, cut the roof in little sections. Like, start from the bottom and then keep going 3 feet, then 5 feet until you see the plywood. The plywood never lies, even though if it rains like a week before, the plywood is gonna still, it's just gonna, you know, the water just leave a mark on anything. If you see like a stained plywood and it's a little bit wet, it means it was water there before. That means the leak is coming around there. Okay, don't just go and then you see it's leaking here, so start putting a big old mess of the wet patch or whatever. Don't do that, please, because then you're gonna look unprofessional. So do what you gotta do first. Do the test, and then later just keep on going as as usual. Thing that I want to show you in this video is, before you patch any nail hole, make sure you scrape it with the brush wire brush, because what this thing does is, because the wire exposes the tar underneath the granules, so your roof cement is gonna adhere to the tar. Okay, do this. And after that you blow it with the blower, blow all the debris with the blower, and then you patch. A lot of people suggest me to buy a GoPro camera and then make videos that are better looking, but I think that there's one thing that you cannot take away from my videos. It's knowledge. Okay, you can have the best videos on YouTube, the best Photoshop, the best photo editing videos, software, but one thing you cannot take away from my videos, it's knowledge. Okay, you can't take away the knowledge from my videos, so that's why I think it's worth it for you guys to watch it, because you're gonna learn a lot. Okay, if I show you a nice video, you're not gonna learn anything. What you're gonna do is a nice video. That's all you're gonna see. A nice video, a nice, something beautiful. But what you're gonna learn? Nothing. So in this video you're gonna learn how to patch a roof. Okay, and that's gonna give you tips how to become a better repairman, and so on. Okay guys, later, thanks for watching. with this repair. What it looked like a small little tiny leak over there, it turned in a bigger repair, but luckily I got it done. Last advice for the viewers: if you own one of these buildings like this, commercial, if you have trees around your building, you're gonna have debris on your accumulator on your drains like this. So the debris are gonna trap the moisture, and eventually your roof is gonna get damaged on this area. So I strongly advise you, recommend you to clean it before the rainy season. Don't worry about the summer because it's dry outside. You know, it's not humid. But if you live in an area, you know, they have a lot of trees like this, all your drains are gonna get clogged with debris, and that's gonna cause problems in the long run. This is where the water was leaking, but actually the water was coming from these pipes right here. What these guys did, they just came and then they torched it on top of the existing, and it was dirty, so water was crawling underneath the torch down on top because they didn't know how to torch it, and then some water. And this one right here, it's a walking pad. They have mapped it a long time ago. So what's happening here is because this thing doesn't have a slope. I told these guys to build a cricket a long time ago, but they haven't done it, so I don't really care. They call me when they have a water leak. That's the big problem. They usually call me when it's leaking, so Eric, please go stop it. And during the summer, they don't really care. So I don't care. They have money, so they pay me what I ask them. You know, not complaining, but to stop the water to go underneath the walking pad, I seal on this side and then I seal on the other side, so the water is just gonna stay on top of the walking pad. It's not gonna crawl underneath, because some in this area there's a hole. It could be like a nail or something, and then this area, it was all damaged, so I put a layer of emulsion with polyester on this. This is where the water was coming from, and then it was leaking on that area. And also, but to be safe, you know, I patch all the nail holes that I see. You see all this? Make sure that you put a thick coat of the roof cement when you have some nails exposed, and make sure that you pull the nail out, okay? Because if you leave it there, it's gonna make a hole on your patch. So and eventually it's gonna leak. The water is gonna go inside. There's gonna be a hole, so it's gonna leak. All right, so this is it for today, and this is the kind of nails that cause the leaks. Some nasty nails like this, you see it?